between both these two teams, ironically. So Chris Anderson getting the start tonight, wearing number 24. He will jump against Eric Moreland. Anderson gives away about 3 inches. Drive will move left to right across our radio dial and right to left on our Facebook video presentation. We have teamed up with Facebook to bring you this audio connection. Canton gets the basketball on the opening tip. Moreland working down low. Anderson trying to bang on him. Moreland, 2-foot plant, and Rex Walters wanted to travel. We got a push underneath. They're going to call that an Anderson. That was some serious contact underneath. Chris Anderson will pick up foul number 1, and we have just played 19 seconds here in the first quarter. Not seen a shot yet as Canton will inbound on the far side from our vantage point over to Crawford. Wings it over to Holland, their leading scorer. Gives it out to Holmes. He can hit the triple. That one short. Good look, no go. Fielded by Lorenzo Brown. Very good rebounding guard at over 7 per game. Over to McCallum topside as he will work between the circles. Holland on him. McCallum over to Ramon Harris. Get the occasional start once in a while. McCallum off the screen from Harris. 10 on the shot clock. In the corner, Kevin Murphy not suiting up tonight for the drive. He is inactive as Marcus Simmons with a 3-point launch. Misses. Rebound by Moreland over to Holland. No score. We played a minute here at the Deltaplex. Moreland on the low post. Spin move, baseline, travel, call, turnover by the Charge. 12th in the league out of 22 teams. Turnovers per game at 16.3. We are looking for our first basket here, the 11:02 mark. Jordan Crawford will work on McCallum in the backcourt. McCallum over that Chemical Bank logo at midcourt. Gets off the screen. He'll try a long-range triple. Nothing but net for Ray McCallum. Sweet stroke by the second-round draft pick back in 2013. McCallum puts the drive on the board, 3-0. Backdoor feed underneath, rejected by Anderson as Jordan Crawford went up, and Anderson well-timed as he swept the glass with a block over to Brown, perpendicular on the lane, over to Harris. He tries these, moving the paint, kicks it out. Anderson with a 15-footer, swirls around no. Moreland with the rebound, second in the league at 12 caroms per game. Over to Crawford, zips it near side. Holland penetrating, turnaround, or fadeaway 10-footer on the baseline, misses short. Rebound Harris. 3-0 Grand Rapids. McCallum wheels around on the screen. Top side left of top side is Harris, gives to Brown. Spin move baseline, trying to lose Holland, skirts the end line. 9 on the shot clock for Ray McCallum. Signaling Renzo Brown for a screen as he's going to try and make his move. 3 on the shot clock, he's got to hurry. McCallum turnaround 10-footer, floater no. Moreland owning the paint for Canton with the rebound. 3-0 drive. Crawford penetrates, loses it, turnover. Lob pass down to Brown, goes up with an easy layup. Great turnover basket. We've seen a lot of that the last few ball games for the drive, really pushing the pace. They take a 5-0 lead. We played almost 3 minutes in this one. Baseline, nice move rejected, fielded by Moreland, knocked out by Marcus Simmons. They're going to give it to the drive. Good move on the baseline by Canton, but they lose a handle. Another turnover for the Charge. Second here in the early going. Referees with a stoppage of play. They're going to change the shot clock, which is now showing 24. And not only that, they are going to give the basketball to Canton after a change of call. 5-0 drive. Referee still talking it over, still trying to get the shot clock right. So Canton will take it off to the left of their basket. That will be Cameron Jones, Northern Arizona product. Quickly to Crawford. That one rejected by McCallum in the cheap seats. Off the sideline. It'll be Canton basketball. 2 block shots in the early going. Canton can't buy a basket here in the early going. Averaging 47%. Pretty good shooting team, 7th in the league. Now the shot clock is at 1 second, so this is going to have to be a very brisk put up by the Charge. And Holland deep in the 3. That one off the back iron, fielded by McCallum. He's on the run. over midcourt. 4-on-3 break over to Harris. Canton back nicely in transition. McCallum will try a three from the top side. That one pongs around no. Anderson fights for the offensive board. Tipped away by Jonathan Holmes and controlled by Crawford and Canton. Very quick as Jordan Crawford inside. Little baby hook by Holmes, partially rejected. Brown with the block and the rebound. Over to McCallum, no look over to Anderson, top side, good ball movement. Harris goes baseline, lob to Simmons, shot clock at 14. Off the screen, open look from the elbow, that one short. Rebound by Crawford. Both teams not shooting well in the early going. With the drive with a 5-0 lead, Crawford pulls up in the paint, no good, tipped away. Kept alive by Jones and a fresh shot clock back to 14. Three-point launch, left to top side, missing. Anderson up strong. Canton 0 for 6 here in the first 3.5 minutes. Working baseline off the screen, backdoor feed into Anderson high off the glass. Got the membership bounce and able it to fall. Assist McCallum. Basket by Anderson. Anderson with 4 points, 7 rebounds, and 3 assists yesterday. And drive with a 7-0 lead. We saw this the last go around in the last home game on Tuesday. 7-1 lead over Maine as they went on to win that game. Pulling up a 15-footer short, contact, and that might be on Chris Anderson, and it is. A little bit too much hand by Anderson. That will send Eric Moreland to the free throw line. Second quick foul on Anderson, and thinking that might prompt Chris Anderson off the bench, or Chris Horton, excuse me, and that does. As Chris Horton, 6'8" center from Austin Peay. Charge at 73% in the lower tier for free throw percentage, and Eric Moreland does many things well. Free throws is not one of them, just 38%. 10 points and 12 rebounds on Tuesday in the loss to Westchester for Moreland. Has a lot of double-doubles this year. 56% from the field. Second free throw's up is good. Canton on the board, 7-1 drive. Inside 8 remaining. Ray McCallum, the all-star from Detroit Mercy, had 2 10-day contracts with the Charlotte Hornets. Back with the drive, averaging almost 18 per game. Stutter step by Brown. Backdoor cut inside. Marcus Simmons can't hang on to it. And Cameron Jones with a full head of steam inside to Crawford. Had the ball rejected, tried to pass it or shoot it. 3-on-2 break inside. Razzle in the dazzle by Lorenzo Brown with the easy scoop. And Nate Rain Canton will inbound. Crawford, top side to Moreland, deep. Now gives it down low into Jonathan Holmes, trying to post up the 6'9" forward. Contact and offensive rebound by Holmes. Just was able to be Johnny in the spot with an easy layup off the glass. First basket by the Charge comes at the 6:55 mark here in the first quarter. Crawford trying to fight up the screen by Harris and trying to steal it away from Harris, and Harris fights back as Crawford with a little nudge. Inside pass to Horton as McCallum trying to feed Horton. He couldn't hang on to it. Turnover drive. In the paint, Holland up off the back iron. He takes a tumble. Looks like John Holland will go to the line, the 6'5" forward from Boston University. Foul will be on Marcus Simmons for the drive. Third foul for the drive. Charge have yet to commit a foul. So Quinn Cook, the Canton leading scorer, now in the NBA. John Holland has taken over team lead in points per game. He's at the line, 88% free throw shooter. Solid player, 22 points a game, almost 5 rebounds, and leads the team in assists at over 3 per game as he gets his first point via the free throw. Two free throws are down by Holland, 4-point run by Canton. Doesn't seem like much, but they were down big to Grand Rapids to start the game. Brown at the free throw line, over to McCallum on the left wing. Jones on him. Post down low, little give and go. 9 on the shot clock. McCallan's spin move goes at the free throw line over to Harris. Pump fake. He is nudged at the free throw line deep as Holmes came crashing into him. Jonathan Holmes will pick up foul number 1. His first, team's first. Not a shooting foul, so Simmons will inbound on the sideline. Light schedule tonight in the D-League. We'll get to that just a bit. Season will wrap up tomorrow. Tons of games tomorrow all over the United States. McCallum, three-point launch, left of top side. That one, good look, no go. Tip-in try by Horton, cannot find the mark. Rebound by Canton. These teams like to run when they get a chance. Nice dish inside, Moreland with a flush. Good look by Holland on the feed. Little tip pass from the top of the key by John Holland. You can see why he leads the team in assists. 9-7, 6-point run for Canton. Horton wants the ball down low, he gets it. Posting up backside, double team. Cross-court pass over to Harris. Pump fakes on the three, goes up baseline, 20-footer, spins in and out. Rebound Holland, pushing the pace. Pumps it in the corner, over to Holmes. Back on the right wing, back to Holmes. They'll try a three-pointer. That one's short. Simmons, Johnny on the spot with a rebound. Simmons trying to find Horton down low, but does not employ the pass over to McCallum. Got a seam spin move. Out to Brown, wide open triple, left arc, count it. McCallum to Brown. Brown feeling it early on. He's got 7 of the drive 12, and that breaks a 6-point run for Canton. 12-7, Grand Rapids drive, inside 5 remaining. Jones, nice move, underhand scoop as he just was able to pick through the defense. Cameron Jones averaging over 10.5. Gets his first basket, behind the back dribble by Lorenzo Brown, top side to Ramon Harris, three-pointer misses. Offensive rebound by Horton. Simmons schooling Canton defensively, inside to Horton, missed the one-handed slam in the baseline. Took off a little bit far away and had a tough angle as he misses the slam. Over to Holland, backs it up with a left-handed dribble, spin move topside off the screen. Whistle underneath the Canton basket. Got an offensive foul on John Holland trying to clear out space. So Holland will commit foul number 1. We got mass substitutions now for the drive. Trey Freeman will check in, the rookie from Old Dominion. Jeff Newberry from Oklahoma State wearing number 11. Bruce Massey from Middle Tennessee State getting some action wearing number 17. And Chris Anderson checks back in. Anderson's playing with 2 fouls, and nobody on the roster taller than 6'8" for the drive here in the last game of the season. Over to Jeff Newberry, 3 points average per game. He's double teamed, goes in the corner. Down low to Horton. Backing up Moreland. Pump fake, left-hand scoop shot, and that one at the rim dances and falls in with the shot clock going off. Nice move by Horton on Moreland. First basket of the day for Chris Horton. 14-9. Holland posts up, 18-footer no. Offensive rebound by Moreland. Moreland is a load inside at 6'10". Now the foul on Chris Horton. Check that, Jeff Newberry. First on Newberry, the undrafted free agent, 6'3" guard. Getting some action tonight. Kevin Murphy is inactive for the final game of the season. So Newberry will get some extra time. Zeke Upshaw has been activated for this game as well. The guard from Hofstra, we haven't seen him yet. Leaning in, pass inside, off the fingertips of Gerald Beverly. Beverly, interesting story, D2 player from Damon College. Creates a turnover. Freeman trying to create some space, and Trey Feeman with a little space out with his right shoulder, forearm. I thought he was going to get called for the offensive foul. But John Holland picks up his second foul for Canton here at the 3:22 mark here in the first. 14-9. Freeman gets it topside. Freeman had 7 points last night in the win over Westchester. Shot clock at 10. Backing up is Massey. Massey gets 11 minutes per game. Goes up with the right hand, high off the glass. Layup. Pretty window kiss, and Massey with a nice basket, his first of the game. Good balance for the drive here in the early going. 7-point lead for Grand Rapids. Inside 3 left here in the first. Fans still starting to pile in here. Turnaround in the key, and John Holland with his first field goal, averaging over 22 per game. That one bangs home. Little 8-footer in the key. Coming the other way, Freeman misses from 12. Rebound by Moreland. And Moreland with 6 rebounds already. Mike Williams, who checked in, the 6'2" guard. Bounce pass inside, skipped and missed. Newberry on the feed from Anderson. On the run, Lorenzo Brown. Good fast break basket. 9 for Brown. Drive had the most assists all year long in game 1 back in November, 27 against these Canton Charge, and they are dishing very nicely tonight. Cross-court pass on the baseline, tipped out by Drive. It'll be Canton ball. Timeout on the court. Drive will take their first timeout. 2:04 left. Let's take a timeout ourselves. Drive looking good here in the first quarter. They lead 18-11 here at the Deltaplex. We'll be back down. Up to Holland. Last shot. Drive up by 5. Raymond. Little crossover. Picks up the basketball over to Harris. He's got an open triple. Buries it. Ramon Harris, 39% shooting from beyond the arc coming in. He is second on the team in three-pointers made. Hits his first basket. Back to an 8-point margin. Larry Sanders on assignment from the Cleveland Cavaliers. Played a lot of years with Milwaukee. Gets his first action. Top side, three-point launch. Up the front of the rim, no. Double bounce picked up by Newberry. Up strong over the Giants to pick that one off. Newberry at the free throw line. Top side. Over to Massey. Harris doubled in the corner. Deep in the backcourt. Newberry will survey the defense. Kind of make his way through. Lost the basketball. Turnover number 3 on the day for the Drive. Jones quickly in transition. Hook pass. Three-pointer in the corner. Trying to keep it alive is Sanders, but Ramon Harris up strong with the rebound, averaging over 4 a game. Harris playing in his 227th D-League game. It's a lot of games in this league. Harris three-pointer, second in a row. Drains the tray, he's got 6. 24-13, the Drive's biggest lead of the game. 41.3 seconds remaining here in the first frame. From the Deltaplex, Sanders clears out space baseline. Harris takes a tumble, and Larry Sanders picks up his first personal on the offensive call. Sanders at 6'11", the first-round draft pick by the Milwaukee Bucks from Virginia Commonwealth or VCU. 5 points and 3.5 rebounds in his short work here with Canton, just recently signed. As Holland will get a breather. Now Kevin Olakibe averaging 6.8 points a game for Canton. He has torched Grand Rapids, averaging 16 points a game this year. He loves the drive. 30 seconds left. Inside feed, double clutch. Massey lays it down. Good look by Freeman. Massey with 4. And the Drive have doubled up the Charge, 26-13. This is a team that's going to the playoff of the Charge. 16 on the shot clock, 18 on the game clock. Sanders down low, wants it down low, moving on Harris. Inside feed, up strong. Shot no, follow through by Sanders as he lays it over the rim. Sanders using the height, his first basket. 10 seconds remaining. Freeman checked by Olakibe. Freeman, underhand scoop shot rejected underneath by Sanders as Freeman gave away about 8 inches on that transaction. So 1.2 seconds remaining. Drive will inbound just to the left of the basket, off to our right. Massey, lob. Harris will try a 3-ball at the end, off the front of the rim. Does not get it to go. 5th in the league at over 12 per game. But just shooting has been the difference. As the drive will inbound, it'll be Harris, Freeman, Horton, Newberry, and Massey to start the second half. Chris Horton and Larry Sanders exchanging a laugh at the right elbow. To our right, Freeman with the basketball on the right wing. ISO for him. He'll stop, he'll pop. That one off the side, missing badly, off the window. Rebound by Cameron Jones, and Canton will set up the offense. Mike Williams, guard from Cal State Fullerton, wings it over to Olakibe. Like we said, Olakibe loves playing against the drive. He's got 10-point season average better versus the drive than his season average of 6.5. Now going the other way, Larry Sanders with his second foul, second offensive foul for Sanders. Trying to get his feet wet once again. Played in just 2 games last year in the NBA. His last full season was 2 seasons ago when he played for the Bucks and signed by Cleveland. Massey creating space. That one from 10 foot, no, but Massey will go to the line. Foul will be on Cameron Jones. First foul for him. Bruce Massey, averaging 3.5 points. He already has 6. And Massey getting some nice action here in this first half. Massey from Middle Tennessee State, undrafted free agent back in 2013. Drops down the first free throw. So with a limited roster for Rex Walters, Kevin Murphy unavailable. Ismael Romero out for the year, injured reserve. They'll go as deep as they can. Missed by Massey, but he fights for the offensive rebound on the miss of his own free throw. And we'll have a jump ball situation. Massey shooting 56% from the line. It'll be Massey and Sanders. 6'3" Massey against the 6'11" Sanders. Just over 11 minutes remaining until halftime. We will have a halftime interview. Wes Weir, the president of business operations for the Grand Rapids Drive, talking about this season and what holds for the summer and for next year. We'll talk with him at halftime. Charge win the tip. They move right to left here in this second quarter. Miss on the floater in the paint, fielded by Massey. He's had a good ball game, offensively and defensively. Splits the defense, goes up strong, up with the right hand, high off the window. Bruce Massey in the land of the Giants went over Sanders. 9 for Massey. Probably flirting with a season high already. Sanders in tall, just a right-handed push shot using that height. Had a nice look inside. You can see the tools for Larry Sanders. Long arms, 6'11" frame. Freeman off the screen, deep by Horton. Stutter step back to the right wing. Backdoor cut inside to Horton, and Horton goes up, hangs on the front rim momentarily. Contact underneath. Jonathan Holmes for Canton will pick up his second foul. I'm not sure if that's going to be a shooting foul. I would guess not. It is not, so the drive will inbound in front of their own bench off to our right. 10:15 left, drive 29, charge 17. Horton on the dribble, little give over to Jeff Newberry. Crossover, stops, pops from 18, and we've got an offensive foul going the other way on the missed shot. That's going to be on Chris Horton, a little extracurricular activity underneath. Second foul on Horton, so the two lone bigs really on this roster for the drive, Anderson and Horton, both now have 2 personals. As the referees talk things over. Getting back to Bruce Massey. Massey had 12 points against the Charge in the opening game of the season. That's his season high. So he's flirting with that. So we'll take a timeout. Let's take a 30. We'll be right back with more Drive basketball right here on 1340 WJRW. You want to chat a little bit during the game? Coming in, they locked that down. Canton, last game tomorrow against Fort Wayne. Now, if Canton should lose tonight, that game would have significant implications in the playoffs. That game would be for the number 3 seed of the 4 teams in the Eastern Conference playoff situation. Canton has clinched playoff consideration, and so has Fort Wayne, but it just sees where it all pans out on who plays who. We'll try and break that down at halftime. Drive lead 29-17. 10 minutes straight up remaining until halftime. Holland back in the ball game, leading scorer for Canton. Moves around on the right arc. tries to go inside and knocked away by Horton. Great defense as they tried to feed Sanders inside. The backside defense for the Charge has been really solid the last few games, really denying that back post any sort of movement offensively. So Canton will inbound in the corner off to our left. Wheeling around is Williams. Over to Holland, three-point launch, and Holland knocks it down. John Holland, 33% three-point shooter. 80 of 240 coming in. Brings the Charge back to within 9. Down low, Freeman trying to bang around. Pump move. Two guards working in the post quickly in transition as Freeman loses the basketball. No good on the layup try by Williams. Malone Harris with the rebound, quickly the other way. Over to Newberry. Down inside to Horton, trying to post up. And contact underneath. Kevin Olakibe. Olakibe, a little mismatch down low. 6'2" guard from UNLV, averaging 6.8. Picks up his first personal. Another quick whistle as the drive inbound. They're going to try this again. Little kick foul by Canton. Master will inbound. Over to Freeman between the circles. Drive 29, charge 20. 9:12 left until halftime. Newberry off the screen. Stops at the elbow. Pops from 18. Misses off the side of the rim. Offensive rebound by Horton. Shot clock moved back to 14. Over to Freeman. Trying to penetrate up with the right hand. Shot rejected. Thought it was pinned against the backboard by Holmes, but they're going to call it a clean block. And the Charge come the other way. Holmes on the left arc, moving on Massey defensively, picks up the dribble. Holland pump fake in the key, kicks it out. Three-point launch off the front of the rim. No tip in, tries Sanders. Third time, lays it over the rim. Sanders just using his height with easy putback. So 2 putbacks for the Charge. They've scored 4 in a row. 29-22. Drive have never trailed in this game. 3-point try by Massey, a little bit too strong off the back iron. Transition, quickly come Canton. Pass inside, intended for Sanders. Sanders went right, pass went left. Turnover Canton. Their 10th of the night as Rex Walters kind of substitution like a hockey line change. 3-4 at a time. McCallum and Lorenzo Brown will check back in. Same for Chris Anderson. I would think Lorenzo Brown would get some player of the week considerations. All he has done this week is averaged 27 points, 8 rebounds, and 7 assists. We'll put the PR department on that one as Lorenzo Brown, speaking of, driving baseline. On cue, knocks it down. Brown with 9 leads his team. Breaks the little run by Canton, 31-22 drive. Working on the perimeter of the Charge. Holland has his pass knocked away. Down to Brown, 2-on-1 break. Had to look over his shoulder, corrals the basketball. On the baseline. Still with possession. Wheels around behind the back. And has the ball kicked away by Holland. It'll be dry basketball. 7:32 left in this second quarter. Eric Moreland gets set to check back in for Canton, and he will do so. Moreland at 6'10", checks out Larry Sanders. Sanders gets a breather with 6 points, trying to work himself back into playing shape. Just recently signed by Cleveland, and Cleveland Cavaliers, the NBA team of the Canton Charge, now on assignment. Brown from the left elbow tries the 18-footer, no good. Anderson goes up strong, fielded by Moreland, and rebound number 8 for Moreland, leads everybody in this one. Charge have struggled from the field offensively, not been able to hit many shots. Stutter step move off the screen from Williams. He'll back up 20-footer. That one true. Williams at 5.5 points. 6'2" guard, undrafted free agent from Cal State Fullerton. Much needed basket for Canton. 31-24 drive, who have never trailed. Simmons, spin move down low. Ball tipped away, controlled by Simmons over to Anderson. Lobs it topside to McCallum. 9 on the shot clock. Off the screen from Horton. Tried to give and go to Horton. Shake and bake by McCallum. Inside look, inside to Horton. That time he slams it down with authority. McCallum found him, and Horton finished it off. 5 assists for McCallum, 4 for Horton on points. 3-point launch. Olakibe misses. Lorenzo Brown now settled things down. Drive with a 9-point lead. They were up by as many as 13 in that first quarter. Ray McCallum, the all-star, goes up with a scoop shot. 5-footer from the sideline. That is a tough shot, and McCallum with a little smile on his face. Check that, a big smile on his face. Well, why not? That's a pretty shot. 35-24, drive with the lead. But the drive still with the 11-point lead as the Charge will take it over the timeline. Top of the key is Jonathan Holmes. Whistle down low. We got a drive foul. Foul on Marcus Simmons. 3 players now for the drive with 2 fouls. Horton, Anderson, and now Simmons. Drive shooting 47% in this game. Canton at 35%. Open look 3. Rainbow launch, no good. Short, Cameron Jones. Ray McCallum was a good rebounder from that guard position at 5.5. Corrals that one, takes it over the midcourt line. Sets up the offense, wants Brown topside. Off the screen from Harris, good double team defensively by Canton. Brown shaking and baking. 2-time D-League All-Star in the key. Wonderful shot by Lorenzo Brown. Just floated it up from 8 feet. Lorenzo Brown shooting 53% his last 4 games and 47% in the year. Has 9. John Holland quickly the other way. He can heat up as good as anyone. His second triple here in the second quarter. And John Holland now with 12 points, leads all scorers. McCallum, bounce pass inside to Anderson. Pump fake up strong, easily done over the rim. McCallum with his 6th assist inside to Chris Anderson, who's got 4 points. Some nice dishes by Ray McCallum. No surprise he was an all-star, along with Jordan Crawford. Crawford now with the NBA New Orleans Pelicans and trying to move in the paint. Lost the handle from the basketball, got it back was Mike Williams. But they're going to say he stepped on the end line. And head coach Nate Rainking trying to get some explanation. How about this Canton Charge franchise? They are going to the playoffs for the 6th straight year. Ever since they've been the Canton Charge, they were in Albuquerque for a couple years and then in Huntsville, Alabama before that. Ever since they've been in Canton, they have gone to the postseason. Solid organization. Ray McCallum, 3-pointer, bottom of the net. Ray McCallum, who struggled a little bit in his field goal shooting, feeling it tonight. Second triple of the game, he's got 8. Just like that, back to a 15-point lead, their biggest of the night. Changing direction up strong, off the glass, good as John Holland with a strong move. 8 for Holland in this second quarter, 14 all day. Boy, Holland from Boston University, 6'5", he plays much taller, he's very quick. Mr. Inside and outside. Just over 4 left until halftime. We'll have D-League scores tonight. Light schedule is inside Lorenzo Brown. Boy, one of the toughest shots in basketball is that little 6'8" footer on the end line or in the key without benefit of the backboard, and Lorenzo Brown makes it look easy. Brown in double figures, scramble as Marcus Simmons goes on his belly for the loose basketball over to McCallum. Cut off on baseline, bounce pass inside, Anderson reverse layup, no, and Anderson's gonna go to the line as Chris Anderson slaps his hands together. Another nice look by Ray McCallum. Foul on Eric Moreland, number 1 for him. Now you know why Ray McCallum is in the top 5 in the D-League in assists per game at almost 7. Eyes in the back of his head, I swear. Anderson at the line, drive on the year, 73% as a team, and Chris Anderson drops it down. Second one by Anderson is good. Half a dozen for Chris Anderson, the Muskegon, Michigan product. Played his basketball at Louisiana Tech. Now tipped away by Brown. Good steal on the wing, and now Canton. Cameron Jones trying to rally his troops here. It's a drive with their biggest lead, 46-29. Stolen by Anderson, and Anderson held up by Moreland. And Canton going to the playoffs, and a fairly important game for Canton because it would secure the number 3 seed out of the 4 teams in the playoffs, but they look a little listless right now here in the second quarter. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back with more here with 3:31 remaining until halftime. It's all Drive here in the first half in the last game of the regular season, 46-29. Grand Rapids Drive. We'll be right back on 1340 WJRW. As well as some general admission tickets on either side of us. So a lot of selections here. Grand Rapids Drive finishing up their 3rd year in operation. Great attendance this year. Drive will inbound. They get the basketball. Ray McCallum with Jordan Crawford on him. Little hook pass to Lorenzo Brown, 16 on the shot clock. Drive with their biggest lead at 17, 46-29. Simmons trying to create space. 18-footer by Simmons, no. Backside rebound by Jordan Crawford. Crawford, the diminutive guard at 5'6", very quick. Gives topside. Holland streaking hard. Might have got away for the foul or the drive, but they'll pick up the basketball in the miss. McCallum wheels around on the left elbow. Trailing is Ramon Harris, who just checked in. Shot clock at 17. Harris has some space, goes up. Dipsy-do. Left-handed layup, no. Offensive rebound by McCallum. Baseline, and he hits it. McCallum looking to pass, was wide open from 8 feet, turned around and dropped it down from the end line. 10 for McCallum, 2 in double figures for the Drive, up 48-49, 3-pointer, front of the rim miss, picked up by McCallum on the carom. Ray McCallum with 8 assists, 3 rebounds, and 10 points. We saw Lorenzo Brown flirt with a triple-double yesterday, and McCallum from the left elbow. That one's short, wide open once again, picked up on the rebound by Jonathan Holmes. Canton trying to push the pace. Inside to Jones, coast to coast. Short, tipped up by Moreland. And Canton has not played since Tuesday. They look a little sluggish here in this second quarter. Brown with the basketball. NBA triple, front of the rim. Does not go, and Moreland with a flat foot rebound for Canton. Crawford zips it over on the far side. Pump fake by Jones. No look in the corner. Nice passing by Canton. Charge 3-pointer topside. John Holland with his 3rd triple here in the second quarter. 17 for Holland, leads all scorers. Breaks the Drive run. Lorenzo Brown, crossover dribble. Moreland on him. Lorenzo Brown has played a few games in the NBA, makes it look easy. Deep from the free throw line, Lorenzo Brown. 8 points here in the second half. And 15 for in the game, leads the Drive. 18-point lead for the Grand Rapids Drive. Streaking in the paint, up strong with the right hand, bounces around and falling on the nice move is Cameron Jones. Jones with 4. 65 seconds remaining until halftime. We'll have our chat with Wes Weir, the president of business operations for the Drive. McCallum. Cross key pass On the baseline shot, Ramon Harris for three. Wasn't sure if he was beyond the line, and he knocks it down. Ramon Harris with 9 points, 3 balls. Biggest lead of the day for the Drive. Pulling away, scoop shot Holland, off the back iron, falling. Holland good from outside, solid from inside. 20 seconds remaining on the shot clock. 30 on the game clock. Anderson backdoor cut inside to McCallum. Knocked away by Jordan Crawford. Now they're going to give it to Canton. We got a timeout. We'll take our Crawford deep in the backcourt. Guard from Bowling Green from the MAC Conference. 7 on the shot clock. Whistle in the backcourt. And Ray McCallum with a little grab foul, his first. Not a shooting foul. So with 9.2 seconds remaining, shot clock is off. Jones will inbound. Right in front of the scorer's bench to our right. Crawford deep in the backcourt. McCallum on him. Crawford backs up, double team. Simmons helping out defensively. Crawford from the elbow. Might have been partially deflected by Simmons. 1 second left as Harris gives it a heave the second half. Drive moving right to left. Crush your radio down. The second half trying to feed inside to Marcus Simmons, and Simmons still fighting for the basketball off the Canton Charge player on the ground, and that's Eric Moreland. And Moreland kind of lying on his back and being helped up by his teammates. Very slowly trying to figure out what his affliction is. Moreland had a quiet first half, just 3 points. He's going to stay in the game with hands on knees. Drive will inbound. Opening seconds here of the third quarter. Drive lead 53-36. Simmons skip pass over to McCallum in the corner. Screen to Anderson. Trapped in the corner on the double team. They go topside over to Lorenzo Brown. Backs up. 3-point launch topside as the shot clock expires. Off the side of the metal. Rebound by Moreland. Moreland had a big first half rebounding with 9, make it 10. McCallum tips it away into the hands of Anderson. 3-on-3 break. Brown feeds on a trailing Chris Anderson. One-handed flush. McCallum, little half no look inside to Anderson, and he knocks down that high percentage shot, 55-36. First basket here of the second half. We played 2 minutes. Moreland goes up strong off the window, no. Backside rebound by Harris. Feeds to Lorenzo Brown. Brown perpendicular in the corner off the hands as Simmons can't get the handle. Just the first turnover here in the second half. Drive with 8 turnovers. Canton had 13 turnovers in that first half. That did not help them. Drive 55, charge 36. Matches the biggest lead of the night at 19. Cross court. Over to Holland, he'll try the triple. That one is good. 4 3-pointers for John Holland. 23 for him. Check that, 22. Off the screen, McCallum at the right elbow, backs up. Crawford on him. Gives to Simmons, he'll stop and pop from 15. And Marcus Simmons with his first basket of the game. That one, nothing but net. Drive respond with a basket of their own. Wheeling around, back up in the paint as Jones falling away with the 10-footer misses, but he draws drive contact. And Chris Anderson, who picked up 2 quick fouls in the first half, picks up foul number 3 early on here in the third. That will send Jones to the line. Not many free throws in the first half. Both Canton and Grand Rapids hit 3 of 4 in that first frame. Cameron Jones, averaging 10.5 points, had 4 in the first half. Knocks down the first free throw, 71% shooter. For Canton, 73%. Makes the first one. 10:08 remaining here in the third quarter. Nice crowd on hand. Second one is up and good. We're going to guess about 4,000 tonight. We've seen crowds around 4,600 as our high. And just by benefit of working a few games, that's going to be the guess tonight. We'll have the attendance figures in the postgame show. Open look Harris 3-pointer. That one off the back iron. Horton tries to fight it, falling away with the offensive rebound off the fingertips. And Moreland controls for Canton. Over to Jordan Crawford. One of two Jordan Crawfords in the D-League. Well, not anymore. Our Jordan Crawford for the Drive, now playing with the New Orleans Pelicans, averaging 13 points a game. Zip pass in the corner, and on a drive, Jonathan Holmes, a full head of steam, and falling on his backside is Marcus Simmons as he took a charge. And being helped to his feet, Simmons really took it kind of in the stomach. Foul on Holmes, his third. First foul for charge here in the third quarter. 9:35 left here in the third. Last game of the year for the Drive. Canton, they're going to the playoffs for the 6th consecutive season, but they don't know who they're playing quite yet. They're right now seeded number 3. If they win tonight, they will secure the number 3 seed, but a loss tonight sets up tomorrow. They got one more game against Fort Wayne, who's qualified for the playoffs. Lorenzo Brown off the screen, three-pointer no. And the winner of that game potentially tomorrow, should Canton lose tonight, would determine the number 3 seed. Holland wheels around, gives it to Holmes on the three-point shot. No, weak side rebound, Lorenzo Brown. Brown with 3 rebounds, 1 rebound short of a triple-double last night, and now Brown has the ball knocked away, fielded by Grand Rapids on the scrum. McCallum wheels over to Harris. Three-point ball, right arc. That one spins off the back iron. Jordan Crawford with rebound number 3, gets it in the corner. Moving on the perimeter, and the three-point try by Canton is off the mark. Rebound Harris. Ramon Harris with 9 points in this one to go along with 5 rebounds. Backing up with the right-hand dribble. Down post to Chris Horton, tried to feed backside. Intended for Simmons, intercepted by Crawford. And Crawford, who was the recipient of that errant pass, accumulates personal foul number 3. Drive averaging 15 more points a game against Canton this year than they are on their season average of 110. Back up, step back, 20-footer by Jordan Crawford is good. He's got his first basket for Canton, 57-43. Drive have won the first 3 meetings against the Charge this year, trying to go for the sweep. 10-9 against playoff teams this year. Penetrating is McCallum, kicks it out to Simmons. 9 on the shot clock, Holland on him. Double clutch up by Simmons, high off the window. And that one was a beaut. Simmons giving away a few inches, used to the left side of the body as a little bit of a screen. Kissed it off the glass, high off that white square. Inside feed, Sanders is in the game. Knocks down the reverse layup, but I think that was before the shot. Foul on the Drive's Lorenzo Brown, number 1 for him, not a shooting foul. So the basket by Sanders, who just checked in, is waved away. 6'11" forward Sanders. First round draft pick by the Milwaukee Bucks. Holland with 22, double teamed over to Crawford. Open look triple, rainbow from the left side, no good. Tipped away, kept alive by Cameron Jones. Now back to Jones, he'll try a 3-ball from the right arc. That one too strong. Weak side tip-in try by Jonathan Holmes. Misses, and Ramon Harris walks it over the timeline. Ray McCallum wearing number 2. Feeds it down low. Off the high window to Lorenzo Brown. Follow through by Anderson, no. Loose basketball, Holmes with a rebound. Drive up by 16. Moving in around is Canton with possession. Trying to clear some space is Cameron Jones with the left hand. Now loose basketball. Picked up by Lorenzo Brown. 1-on-2 break, so Brown shaking and baking on Crawford. Over to McCallum, little turnaround. Brown off the window with a right-handed scoop shot. No offensive rebound by Anderson. Fresh shot clock at 14. And McCallum and company will check the offense as he surveys the Canton defense. McCallum off the screen, backhanding off Crawford. Bounce pass to Anderson, and the shot clock goes off. I think McCallum lost track. Turnover by the Drive, their 9th of the day. They lead the league in fewest turnovers at just under 14 per contest. Drive won last night, 108-96. They shot 49%. Only 8 players played in that game for the Drive as they won their 3rd straight. They've won 5 of their last 8. A win tonight would match their longest winning streak of the season at 4. They've had 2 4-game winning streaks this year. Crawford wheeling in the land of the Giants. Brings it out to Holland, tries to go baseline, lost the basketball. Over to Brown, and the backcourt grab by Jordan Crawford. Foul on Crawford, his first. Brown was off and running, and a good foul by Crawford. First team foul for Canton here in the third frame. 3 for the drive. 6:14 left. Want to thank Viscom Sports Graphics of Grand Rapids, York Creek Apartments, and Great Clips, some of our sponsors here for Dry Basketball all season long, as well as Chemical Bank and Michigan Lottery. McCallum deep in the backcourt. Anderson knocks down Jordan Crawford. He's going to get pegged for the moving screen. 4 on Anderson. Chris Horton will get some action here with 6:05 remaining in the third. Drive at home on the year, 14-10. Canton on the road, 12-11. And Canton, they had a slow start, went 2-6 the first 8 games, finished the first half at 14 wins, 11 losses, but then an 8-game win streak in the second half of the season gave them a 15-8 record in the last 23. Put them in the playoff picture. They were flirting with Grand Rapids in 4th place in the Central Division for most of the year until the late season turn on. 3 ball, left side, no good. Lorenzo Brown, another rebound for him. Boy, he is a great rebounding guard. Triple teamed over to McCallum, right arc. Pushed back by Crawford. Boy, Crawford so tenacious defensively. McCallum up with the left-handed scoop shot. Rejected by Sanders, but the foul on Crawford is second for Canton. Timeout on the floor. Drive 59, charge 43. Not much scoring here in the third quarter. Canton has outscored Grand Rapids. 63 games under his belt in the NBA as Ray McCallum will go to the line. McCallum at the line, very good free throw shooter. 78%, knocks down the first. He's got 11, averaging almost 18 points a game. Is Ray McCallum, 21 points, 5 rebounds last night. Ray McCallum had not a chance to play the last go-around between these two teams. He was in the NBA with Charlotte. McCallum knocks down a pair, 61-43. 18-point lead. Drive had a 19-point lead before halftime. John Holland backing it up. Holland from Boston University stops, pops from 18, and hits it. 24 for Holland. Holland had 28 against Grand Rapids the last go-around and been averaging over 25 points a game. Ray McCallum, his hands full with Jordan Crawford on him defensively. Stutter step by Bruce Massey, who just checked in. Floater in the paint off the back iron and dropping in. As Bruce Massey, who just checked in, knocks down the basket. Double figures for him. Crawford coming the other way. His 18-footer short. Bruce Massey having one of his better games. Bounce pass behind and the trailing Lorenzo Brown circles around with the right elbow. Still with the dribble, backing up cross court over to McCallum. Simmons trying to screen him. 10 on the shot clock. McCallum shaking and baking. Cross court, over dribble, I should say, misses a 3. Marcus Simmons keeps it alive with the offensive rebound. Their 6th of the day. Simmons launches it up with 2 hands and knew he was getting hacked by Jordan Crawford, and Crawford not too happy. 3rd on Crawford. Crawford stating his case. Simmons will go to the line. Marcus Simmons with 4 points, all here in the second half. Marcus Simmons, an undrafted free agent out of USC. Back in 2011 is his first free throw falls short. Played in over 100 D-League games, says Marcus Simmons. Picked up kind of in the middle of the year this year. Good defender. Had a high of 19 points against the Raptors, 905. Second free throw is no good. Always seemed to play well against the Raptors. I believe he was in double figures 3 times out of the 4 games against the Raptors, 905. But 2 missed free throws. Drive up 63-45 against the playoff-bound Canton Charge. Drive trying to sweep the season series, and this is the 4th game. They won the first 3. Larry Sanders, his 19-footer, pongs around, no good. Rebound Bruce Massey. Massey with 4 rebounds to go along with his 11 points. Over to Brown. Quickly hesitating. Brown working high post, turnaround, off the bank shot, no. And McCallum hangs on the rim to try and tip it in, but Sanders hauls down the carom. Crawford goes in, tries to go outside as he skips it out, intended for McCallum. Gives it up to Lorenzo Brown, scoop shot, fast break basket, to perfection. McCallum to Brown, timeout on the court, and the drive. 2.5 games back of the final playoff position held by the Indiana Pacers. So the drive struggling down the stretch, as are the Canton Charge NBA team, the Cleveland Cavaliers. They're struggling as well. Cleveland's going to the playoffs. Detroit remains to be seen. Holland backs it up, 20-footer, money. Boy, his shot is something else. Holland is a scorer. 28 points last game against Westchester, had 28 points against Grand Rapids the last game on February 3rd. Horton trying to move on Sanders. Has the ball knocked away. Back up topside, fielded by Olakibe. Olakibe up with the right hand. That one bounces around and falls. Turnover leads to an easy basket as Olakibe, averaging 7 points, knocks down his first shot. 65-49 drive. 2:43 left here in the third. Trey Freeman checks in for the drive. Freshman from rookie, I should say. Well, he is a freshman. Rookie from Old Dominion tries to go Simmons near side, out of bounds. Turnover number 11 for the drive. Canton have had 18 turnovers of their own. But the drive leads 65-49. Little 4-point run for Canton. We'll have our Adidas Player of the Game interview at the conclusion of this during the drive postgame show. Inside feed, easy look. Olakibe misses, and Bruce Massey with a personal down low.
Foul number 17, Bruce Massey, his first.
First for Massey. Actually a good foul as Olakibe was prevented from making the basket. Kevin Olakibe, UNLV product from 2014. First free throw is up and good. Olakibe did not play the last go-around between these two teams. Olakibe drains a pair. 67% free throw shooter, has 4, all in the second half. And a 6-point run for Canton. Trey Freeman, topside. Freeman averaging 6 points, 3 rebounds, and over 2 assists a game. Over to Horton. Back over to Massey. Stutter step, pulls back. That one off the backboard, count it. Was not pretty, but it counts. Bruce Massey has just scored his 12th and 13th as Olakibe penetrating in the paint. We got a contact foul underneath, and just by the grimace on Marcus Simmons' face, they're going to give it to Simmons. For Simmons, his third. 5th team foul, not a shooting foul. Canton will inbound. Long range three-pointer by Olakibe, misses. So it swirls around the backside of the rim. 13 points by Bruce Massey. That is a season high. Make it 15. Layup high off the window. How about that for Bruce Massey? Second go-around with the drive this year. He was released halfway through the season, picked up by the Erie Bayhawks, and then re-signed again by the drive. Holland, he'll try a three-pointer, and that one is good. My goodness. What a shot. Holland leads everybody in this one, shooting 47% on the year, 69-54, 10 on the shot clock. Simmons wheels around, deep from the free throw line, misses backside. Offensive rebound put back by Bruce Massey. Bruce Massey having a huge game here in the last regular season game. 58 seconds remaining. Sanders wheels around. Horton on him. Good ball movement on the perimeter as Olakibe tries a three-pointer. Sanders over the back of Horton. And they're going to keep it on the Canton end. Is that on Horton? Well, they're going to call it on Chris Horton, his third. Larry Sanders will go to the line. Sanders with 6 points all in the first half. Just recently signed by the Cleveland Cavaliers, so he's on assignment here with Canton and misses the first free throw. Only played 2 games in the NBA last year. veteran of a few seasons. Played for Cleveland, was drafted by Milwaukee, played a few seasons with the Bucks. Now just kind of getting back into playing shape. Averaging 17 minutes a game, 235 NBA games, 6.5 points a game is that career score, and he knocks down the second free throw. 7 for Sanders, 71-55. Drive have never trailed in this game. 42 seconds remaining here in the third, 16 on the shot clock. Freeman off the screen, pass inside, whistle underneath. We're gonna charge foul. Good look by Freeman to try to dump it inside.
Charge foul number 9,
Cameron Jones picks up foul number 2. 16 fouls for the drive, 5 for the charge. So it's Freeman, Horton, Harris. Jeff Newberry just checked in, and Bruce Massey. Inbound, fed inside. Newberry tries to go up, rejected by Sanders, got a piece of it. Eric Moreland back in the game for Canton. Over to Jones, poked away by Newberry, goes off the end line as Newberry with a little reach around tip away. Canton will inbound right in front of the drive bench. Bruce Massey now with 17 points. That is a season high for him. So with 25.8 seconds remaining, the drive leads 71-55. They have been outscored 19-18. Not a good shooting third quarter by both teams. Holland from 30 feet. That one spins off the back iron. Ramon Harris with another rebound. Nice day for Ramon Harris. 8 rebounds to go along with his 3 triples for 9 points. And now Bruce Massey deep in the backcourt with 7 on the shot clock. Massey might as well take it. He's been hot as anybody. Wheels around. Newberry, 3-point ball, top side, off the front rim. No. Followed through by Horton. Got tangled up by Eric Moreland. And the third quarter comes to a close. Charger get the basketball to start the fourth quarter as Moreland wheels around, goes up strong, shot rejected. Picked up by Moreland, little floater on an alley-oop to Sanders, and the 6'10 Moreland gets it to the 6'11 Sanders for an easy basket. Canton opens up the scoring here in the fourth quarter. Canton outscored Grand Rapids 19-18 in that third frame. Drive outscored Canton in the first 2 periods. Bruce Massey feeling it, 3-pointer. Massey with 20 points as he gets a side slap from Ramon Harris. How about Bruce Massey? Great to see him finish up strong. Sanders, 15-footer. Off the back iron, no. Chris Horton up strong with the rebound. Over to Massey, trying to push the tempo in the corner to Freeman, 18-footer. That one pongs around. Chris Horton up strong. Tried to keep it up alive off the end line, just flipped it out. And it goes off the side, but great hustle by Chris Horton. 8th offensive rebound of the day. Looking at Canton's numbers in this one, they are flirting with their worst shooting performance of the year. They're at 37%. They had 35% against Raptors 905 back in early December. And just like that, 3-point launch from the top side, and the Charger in business. Here comes Massey. Mike Williams with a 3-pointer on that last one. And Bruce Massey coming the other way. Massey unconscious right now. He's got 23. 76-60, 10:29 remaining. Sanders trying to wheel on the elbow. Feeds Moreland in the corner. Open look, 18-footer. And Canton starting to heat things up. Cameron Jones with the jumper. 9 for him. Coming back the other way, Massey tries a 3-pointer off back iron, fielded by Moreland. Moreland, we have the double-double. Check that. Moreland with 12 rebounds, still only with 3 points. Sanders moves on Horton, off the back, no good. Horton with a hand in his face, tips it around from Ramon Harris over to Freeman. Freeman stops just to the left top side, over to Harris. Wheels over to Newberry, changes direction, stutter step, landed the Giants, cross-court pass over to Massey. No-look pass inside to Horton, easy layup. Another nice assist. Massey scoring, but a beautiful dish. Easy put in by Chris Horton. 16-point lead. Drive's biggest lead was 20 back in the third quarter. 78-62. They have never trailed in this one, have the Grand Rapids Drive. Holland winds up and knocks it down from 20. John Holland with 31. Trey Freeman screens it, now straddles the end line. Over to Harris, still with the dribble. Moreland working on him. Shot clock at 6. Harris tries to make his move. Holland tipped it away, and they're going to say last touch by Ramon Harris, and a turnover by the Drive. Anderson checks in. Chris Horton checks out. Nice bit of work here for Chris Horton. Just inside 9 left. Drive trying to win their 4th straight. They're up 14. Charge moving left to right here in the 4th quarter. Williams moves it over to Jones. He'll try a triple launch from the right arc. No good. Bruce Massey, who is everywhere here in this second half, hauls down the rebound, and now Massey goes up. Moreland on him, and Moreland came crashing down on Massey. Big collision. Well, it looks like Massey went up strong, and they're going to call the offensive foul. And Massey sent Holland sprawling, and Moreland tried to go in for the block, landed right on top of Massey. So it'll be another turnover on the foul by Massey, his second. Massey will get a breather here at the 8:29 mark. Ray McCallum checks back in. Lorenzo Brown back in as well for the Drive, and Marcus Simmons will enter the game. Drive still has some work to do. 10-9 against playoff teams this year, and Canton going to the playoffs as Simmons and Holland working deep in the backcourt, and Marcus Simmons will get pegged for the backcourt foul. 4 on Simmons. First for the Drive here in the 4th quarter. Inbound, Moreland trying to work in the key. Spin move on the end line. Little turnaround jumper by Beverly, checks in. Offensive rebound by Moreland. Whistle underneath. Drive fighting for the rebound. Looks like they will pick up the foul. It's going to be on Lorenzo Brown. Second foul for him, and that will send Eric Moreland to the line. Well, we talked about Moreland's free throw woes. Eric Moreland averaging 13 points and 12 rebounds a game. He just has 3 points tonight. He's not taken many shots. First free throw is short. Just 1 for 2 in this game. And Moreland, third leading scorer in the ball club, has just been a non-factor in this one. I've not seen a lot of free throws tonight, just 11 for Canton. Second one is no good. Moreland just having a tough night offensively. Drive lead by 14. They get the basketball. McCallum being guarded by Williams on the left elbow to Chris Anderson, who employs his dribble. Little weave over to McCallum trying to find a seam. Backdoor cut inside to Simmons. That one too strong. He had Simmons underneath, but Simmons banged it off. And the rebound by Canton coming the other way. Zips off the end line. It'll stay on that end. Looks like a timeout on the court. Good time for 7:47 left. The Drive trying to win their 4th straight against Canton this year and sweep the season series. Charge will inbound in their road Maroons, and now Marcus Simmons guarding Holland deep in the backcourt, and things get a little chippy physically as Holland trying to move. Top side, he'll pick up foul number 4. Check that, foul number 3. We'll keep it right here. Let's take a look around the NBA D-League scores tonight. Very light schedule, one we're keeping track of. A win by Maine tonight would clinch the Atlantic Division in the Eastern Conference. Right now at Greensboro, Maine is trailing 97-75 with 10 minutes remaining. Damian Wilkins lighting things up for Greensboro with 31 points. Jordan Mickey on assignment from Boston with 22 points for the Red Claws, but Maine came in with a losing streak, just have not been able to get that last win. They're locked in a 2-game lead over Delaware, but A Maine loss and a Delaware win tonight would set up a showdown tomorrow. Right now, Delaware trailing the Raptors 905, the best team in the league as far as one loss, and Delaware at home trailing 91-74. And tough task for Delaware. So even if Maine should lose and Delaware loses, then Maine would clinch and get the number 2 seed. If that's the case, I know, try to follow the bouncing ball, then Maine would play Canton in the opening round on Tuesday in the playoffs, and Fort Wayne would take on Raptors 905. We'll break it down for you at the end of this game. Right now, the drive matters to 10-2. They lead 78-64. Ray McCallum, Ramon Harris, Marcus Simmons, Lorenzo Brown, and Chris Anderson here at the 7:34 mark. Ray McCallum, little hesitation, spin move 360. Jump pass to Harris, topside, 8 on the shot clock. McCallum trying to move on Moreland. He's got the quickness advantage, stops, pops on the pull-up, 10-footer no. Weak side rebound by Holland. Holland with 31 points at a season high of 36. That one off the glass, no. Tip in try by Beverly, no. Offensive rebound by Moreland, who shuffles it out topside to Jones. He'll try a three-pointer. And Cameron Jones for 3. His second 3 ball of the second half. 12 for Cameron Jones. Check that, 11 for Cameron Jones. Just like that, it's an 11-point lead as Harris screens Lorenzo Brown. Tough screen. Feeling that one is Williams. Harris, he'll try a 3-point launch. As he falls down, shot goes down and he is fouled. What a play. Williams got all up in his grill. First foul on Williams and a chance for that ever elusive 4-point play by Ramon Harris. Harris falling back as it was. Harris now with his 4th 3-pointer in the game. And that one falls out. Harris had 9 points and 10 rebounds against Canton last time. 81-67, 15-footer no. Offensive rebound by Jones, Cameron Jones from Northern Arizona. Wheels it topside, over to Holland. He'll try a 3-ball, and that one is good. John Holland. John Holland with 34, just 2 off his season high. Here come the drive, up by 11. Lorenzo Brown pump fake in the key, kicks it out to Ramon Harris. He'll try the 3-ball. That one off the front of the rim, good look. Foul underneath, Chris Anderson banging around. It's gonna be a Canton foul. And that will prompt activity off the Canton bench. Sanders will check in, Beverly will check out. Gerald Beverly from Damon College, Division II school. Larry Sanders from VCU checks in, NBA veteran of over 200 games. They'll check in. Chris Anderson gets the inbound. Inside 6 remaining, 9 on the shot clock. Lorenzo Brown dribbles it off the right elbow. Might have been tipped away and no over and callback, so that was the case. Brown, long range triple. He had to get it away with the shot clock dwindling down. Does not go too strong. Eric Moreland, rebound number 15. Williams, alley-oop pass inside, an easy basket is finishing off the dunk is Eric Moreland. Moreland with 5. So Canton with their 2 bigs in the game. Moreland at 6'10", and Sanders at 6'11". And now taking a tumble in the backcourt is Mike Williams. Making an offensive foul on Chris Anderson. And they're going up his drive. So just like that, the drive were up by 20 in the second quarter. And they've seen the lead now dwindle down to 81-72. They've been outscored 17-10 in this 4th quarter. We'll have our Adidas player of the game at the conclusion of this one. Drive have started very slowly in this 4th quarter. Shooting, Holland off the screen, backs up, he's got 34. Simmons, their best defender for the drive on him. Williams between the legs, tries the 3-point, grazes the front of the rim, picked up by McCallum on the single bounce rebound. McCallum, 12 points and 10 assists. Off the screen, in the key, spin move. Up with a right-hand push shot. Nicely done. NBA move by McCallum. Just willed his way in the paint. 14 for Ray McCallum. Ray McCallum, 21 points last night. Another nice night tonight. Feet inside. Easy basket for Canton. Eric Moreland responds, showing a little bit sign of life. And now a turnover. Feed inside to Jones, and that one off the end line. They're going to keep it to Canton, and Cameron Jones not too happy for Canton. I think Cameron Jones thought he was fouled looking on the replay as Jones wheels around on the right elbow, push shot on the paint, off the front of the rim, takes a bounce off the backboard and falls through. Cameron Jones having a nice second half. 14, check that, 13 for Cam Jones, averaging 10.5. Drive, up by 7 in the key. Brown with a floater, that one swatted away. That's going to be a goaltending, and Lorenzo Brown wanted the foul call as well. But Lorenzo Brown, just his third and fourth point of this second half. 19 for Brown on the goaltending. Big basket for the drive, he needed it. They lead now back up to 9. Under 4 minutes remaining. Drive shooting 47% in this one. Canton at 40. 8 on the shot clock. Moreland gives to Jones, splits the defense. Stolen by Brown. 2-on-2 break. Brown keeps it between the defense. Knocked away by Williams and the charge. So the Die will have the ball. Inbound pass, baseline, Lorenzo Brown, 16-footer. Off the back iron, fielded by Moreland. Moreland's been dominating the boards for Canton. Holland from 18, misses, whistle, drive, foul underneath. Marcus Simmons with foul number 5, one more, and he gets a permanent seat in this one. I will send John Holland to the line. John Holland came in averaging 22. He's at the hot hand, over 25 in his last 6 games. And Holland, a great free throw shooter. 1 point away from his season high. He's got 35. Make it 36, season high for Holland. Matches his season high, I should say. But more importantly, Charge get back to within 7. Drive just trying to steal this away. They had big leads. They have never trailed. Now trying to weather their first big Canton run of the day as McCallum's drive misses. Fighting hard, Horton underneath. Double pump inside, and Chris Horton will go to the line. Great effort by Chris Horton. His offensive rebounding willpower tonight has been phenomenal. Foul on Cam Jones for Chris Horton his last few ball games. Looking at his numbers, 9.5 points, over 7 rebounds his last 3 games, shooting almost 70%. Not a good free throw shooter at 60%, but boy, he's like a junkyard dog. First free throw off the front of the rim and falling through for Chris Horton. Every free throw vital for the Drive. They've only been to the line 9 times. They've made 6 of 9. First-year head coach Nate Rain King for Canton, talking things over with one of the officials. He's about the calmest, coolest head coach in the league. Does not get... Back here at the Deltaplex in Walker, Michigan. I'm Mike Coleman calling the season finale here for the Drive, trying to win their 4th straight to close things out. They've won 5 of the last 8. Holland, quick launch, 3-pointer, no. Brown picked up the basketball after Horton screened away Sanders, who prevent him from getting the offensive board, and nicely done by Horton. Doing all the little things so well tonight. Now Horton screens McCallum, Holland on him. McCallum skirts the baseline, pops it up to Harris, will try the triple. That one pure. Nice dish, nice finish. Ramon Harris, 15 for him. Having one of his better games offensively. Drive shorthanded without Kevin Murphy. A little under the weather tonight. Back up to a 12-point lead. Shot by Canton, no. Tipped around. New shot clock. Sanders with the basketball, now in the corner to Cam Jones, up strong with a floater in the paint. That one too strong. Put back no good, as Jones actually got his own miss, and it looks like Cam Jones will go to the line as he is hammered down low. Playoffs at least delaying the inevitable for them. So the Drive doing their job. Trey Freeman checks back in for the Drive. Trey Freeman, one of those players in this D-League, the development league, who has really developed. Not much offense in the first half of the season, and we saw some nice games from Trey Freeman. Almost 6 points a game. He had the most field goals last year for Old Dominion in the season for any D1 team for Old Dominion, as Cam Jones knocks down the free throw. 15 for Cam Jones. As he knocks down two. 10-point lead for the Drive. 2:09 left. Holland playing a little defense deep in the backcourt. Working on Freeman over that timeline, who just shuffles it underhand to Brown. Little weave on that three-point perimeter. McCallum, he'll try an 18-footer. That one influenced by Holland. That one short. Moreland once again with the rebound. He's had 20 rebounds. I saw Roosevelt Jones, who's not playing tonight for Canton, have 20 rebounds in Canton the last go-around between these teams. Williams, stutter step, goes out on the left wing. Holland with 36. Ball tipped away, stolen by McCallum. Race to the end, and McCallum slams it down with authority. Steal in the finish by McCallum, 16 for him. Increased the lead, 92-80. 86 seconds left. Cam Jones off the end line, might have been tipped, or kicked, I should say. That is indeed the call, as Canton will get the inbound. Simmons checks in, Freeman checks out. Our official attendance tonight, 5,377. That is the biggest attendance figure that we have seen all season long. So, Drive fans, want to thank you for coming out tonight, and fans listening here on 1340 WJRW. Drive didn't make it to the playoffs, but it's been a great season. Sanders on the move. He is fouled underneath. He's going to shoot a pair. Chris Horton picks up foul number 4. Well, Horton and Anderson, the two bigs for the Drive, had 2 early fouls early on, and they managed to stay in the game, as Larry Sanders will go to the line. Larry Sanders, we talked about his experience with the Milwaukee Bucks. Sanders playing in just his 3rd game here with Canton. First free throw's good, second one no good. Harris up strong with the rebound. Ramon Harris has had himself a ball game. Double-double, 15 points and 11 rebounds. Saving the best for last, and Harris averaging about 7 a game. Stutter step by Lorenzo Brown, ball knocked away. 11 on the shot clock, straight up a minute remaining here at the Deltaplex. Drive 92, Canton 81. McCallum on a drive cut off by Williams. Shovel pass over to Harris, late three-pointer, no. And that one off the backside, giving chase is Horton, fielded by Ola Kibe. Ola Kibe will try the long-range triple off the front of the rim, no good, but Moreland streaking through the lane, slams it down with the one dunk finish. Man, what a play, he came in hard. McCallum fouled in the backcourt, and Moreland puts the hammer down. And Ray McCallum is gonna go to the line. Both teams now with 5 personal fouls. Callum, a little smile on his face. You gotta love Ray McCallum. You can tell he loves the game. Doesn't get rattled, keeps his head. Not a shooting foul. So McCallum deep in the backcourt, 29 seconds left. Drive lead by 9. Still a 3-possession game. They gotta be careful as McCallum caroms around. Off the screen, goes up. Clutches it over to Simmons. He'll try a long-range 3 ball, and that one spins out. Tip in by Lorenzo Brown. Shot clock winding down. And with 14.9 remaining, Lorenzo Brown with a beautiful tip, 21 for him. The balance for the Drive tonight has been outstanding. 4 players in double figures led by Bruce Massey. 21 for Brown, 16 for McCallum, and Ramon Harris with 15 points. Phenomenal effort. We'll have all the rundown of the numbers at the conclusion of this one. Canton will inbound on their side as they call the timeout. Sanders trying to wheel and deal inside. Right-handed scoop shot, no. Ramon Harris with a rebound, and that will seal the deal as Lorenzo Brown just content to keep it in the backcourt. Well, a big rally by Canton here in the fourth quarter. They outscore Grand Rapids 28-23, but Grand Rapids with